Today I got a good reminder of why I do not like the general public, and I'm very curious about what you would have done in this situation. While we were at the splash pad, there was a boy who was like 8 or 9 going around and asking the other children, including mine, if they wanted to see his appendage. There was me and one other parent there at the splash pad. There were about 10 children, including my 2 that were running around. When Harleen asked the boy what he said, he responded to her and said, "I wasn't asking you, I was asking the boys because they get to see what I have and you don't." I asked him where his mother was and he said why and then left and started playing again. A little while later, Harold is using the water cannon to spray children like other children have been spraying him, including this child, this 8 or 9-year-old child. So Harold is spraying all of these children, going around in a circle because the cannon spins 360. All of these children have sprayed my 3-year-old with this water cannon. Well, the 8 or 9-year-old boy who was asking people if they wanted to be flashed went and smacked my son. Contact. I lost my shit. I said, "Hey, that is not good behavior. We do not do that to people we do not know. Where is your mother?" And this child looks me dead in the face and says, "Why?" And I said, "Because of your behavior. Where is your mother at?" And he was basically like, "You don't need to know where my mom's at." And I ended up asking him about 10 times where his mother was before he told me where his mother was. His mother was sitting more than 50 feet away with her back to him and his younger brother at the splash pad. So I followed the little boy to where his mom is after I gathered my children and put my baby back in the car seat and had my children get their shoes on so that I can go explain to his mother what had just happened. As I'm walking up to his mother, he says, "My mom's not going to believe you because you're a liar, and I already told her what happened." Just like that. That's how he said it. So I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, was that your son?" And she said, "Yeah, why?" So I responded, "Ma'am, your son was asking all of the children at the splash pad if they wanted to see his appendage." And she said, "You're a fucking liar. My child would never do anything like that." She doesn't turn to face me. She doesn't look at me. She doesn't make any type of contact with me. She's screaming at me while continuing to look forward. And I had stepped down the side so that I could at least see the side of her face, thinking that she would have at least met me some way to look at me while I'm talking to her. No. So then I proceeded to tell her that her son did in fact ask children to see his appendage, including my daughter. And when my daughter was asked, he said, "Never mind, not you, only the boys." I also explained to her that her child hit my 3-year-old, and she started screaming, saying that her child would never do something like that. Her child would never hit another child, and I have the wrong child confused with somebody else. This child was the only 8 or 9-year-old wearing that outfit that he was wearing. I was not fucking confused. I'm curious though, how would you have handled the situation? Because I left pissed off. And I told her, I was like, "You need to talk to your son and ask him why he's doing these things." And she basically told me to go fuck myself. So, if you're not going to be responsible for your children, I'm going to fucking yell at them because my children are not going to be smacked and flashed by other children. Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little heated right now because the interaction pissed me off. That mom did not give 2 shits. So when people talk about protecting your children against adults, you also need to protect them against children. Make sure when you're at public spaces, you are watching your children because you don't know what other children are exposing your children to.